Okay. Hi, I'm Heather. And what am I doing here? I find it extremely useful to have essentially a co-working buddy. Um, and right now, that's just me recording myself while I'm trying to get some things done. But I also do know that this is the kind of stuff that I would have watched back in the day when I was watching lots of other YouTubers. And so, yeah, I know that I'm going to talk about some things while because I'm thinking through a bunch of stuff, whether it be personal or work or um, acts of service or whatever. So I'm thinking things out loud. And I know that and one of the things I'm going to do in just a minute is I'm going to do an adult thing that I don't know if I know there's a lot of folks who've never seen this done. And so perhaps this will be helpful. So I just got a new credit card with 0% interest and transferred some balances there so that I can have zero interest for, I think it's a year and a half. I don't remember when it ends. I think it's a year and a half. Anyhow, I accidentally didn't set up my payment right away. I forgot about it. I thought about it multiple times. If I had actually just done it, I would have used less time just getting it done than I did thinking about it. So today I finally got in there. I'm 5 days late. I see that I got charged a late fee. And I also don't know, if I don't think the first offense, they just start adding the interest to everything, but I'm going to call and make sure. And since I have set up auto pay, I'm going to be able to honestly say it'll never happen again. So please, if you give me a pass on this one, I'd really appreciate it. So on the one hand, that's sort of like a, what sometimes I'll call like an ADHD tax, where there's something you need to do, but you keep not getting to it, and then it ends up costing time or money or effort or whatever because it got put off. And so this is one of those cases where it cost me $25 in cash, and now I need to spend time asking for seeing if they'll give me that money back and confirming that I haven't put my account at risk. So that is time that I wouldn't have had to spend if I had just fucking put in the auto pay last week or the week before that or the week before that. It's been on my calendar for a month. So, well, not quite a month. I had to wait till the credit card was like activated and stuff to set up an account. So, gotta be careful that I don't bump this. It's in a very precarious position because I do what I can with what I do. And I've talked to a lot of people recently who are like, well, I can't do anything because I'm hurt. So I just have to sit here on the couch and I can't do anything. People who have said like, now I can't remember exactly what I wanted to. Basically, it's kind of this idea of a focus on what is not available rather than what can I do from here. So for me, for example, when I'm like I'm having a day where I just really I don't want to get out of bed. My body is just like, no, don't get out of bed. Sometimes my head is still like, I could do some things. So then I think, okay, what can I do from bed? What can I do that's going to help my body restore, yet also keep my mind busy? Kind of in the same way that mama might be tired and needs to lay down for a while, but toddler still needs attention and minding. So that's funny. Anyway, yeah, what can I do from here with my current conditions is a question that I wish people ask themselves more often. So, okay, gonna go make that call. And I also consider that to be like, you get a reimbursement or you get a fee waived or whatever, instead of that cash having come out of your pocket, you've now regained it. So if I have to spend 15 minutes on the phone, in essence, by getting that cash back, that $25 back, I'm getting paid $25 to spend that 15 minutes. So that's worth it to me. And we'll see, how long does it actually take? Hopefully not that long. Okay, so here I go. Where did I set the credit card down? Where did I set it down? Now I've got to spend time looking for it. Just need to make sure I remember to silence it when I give my credit card number. All right. Maybe I'll actually continue to silence it because that makes it really easy for me to edit. I want to know who in the fuck decided that credit cards needed to like the back with the phone number and all that sort of thing, even the number is in fucking white on a light gray card. So you know how hard that is to read? Like what have been so fucking hard about the making the text black so that it's easier to read? So it makes me wonder, like, with somebody in some meeting, like, you know what, let's make just change the design so it's really hard for customers to find the number and call us. So you know what, then they won't bug us so much and we won't need as many agents. Win-win. Just make it harder and harder on the clients and we make more money. Fuck you guys. It doesn't have to be this hard.
Today, you can say things like, when's my next payment due? Or, I have a question about a charge.
Question about a charge.
You are calling about a charge on your account. Is that right?
Yes.
Got it. Would you like to hear a list of recent transactions or more information about a specific charge?
No. Speak to agent.
Okay. Before we transfer you to an agent, we need to get some additional verification. And for security, what are the last 4 digits of your social security number? Okay. Hold on while I transfer you to a representative.
Back in the day, you could figure out what number was being pushed by the sound that it made. That wasn't good.
May I have your first and your last name, please?
Right now, I have a promotional APR, for balance transfers, and I know that I can get dinged, or the interest can start accruing if I've made a late payment, and so I want to find out is I did accidentally the very first month make a late payment because I'd forgotten to set up an auto pay, and so I just want to make sure that that's not going to trigger the like, okay, now you got to pay interest penalty.
I guess. No, it does not. So ultimately what would happen, we would always collect your minimum payment, which will be, 1% of your balance plus any fees for interest, or $25, whichever is higher. So in your situation, it would have added that fee to, I guess, your next minimum payment, more or less. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't add interest because, the no interest period is, extending until, it looks like, let me see one second. Looks like the no interest goes until July 20th of 2025. So right. You have time to go without interest.
Yeah, good. Okay, I just want to make sure that penalty wasn't going to kick in.
No.
Okay. Okay, good. And I'm wondering, I did set up auto pay, so it'll never happen again. So I'm wondering if I can get this waived because it was a, first timer mistake of just not getting the payment set up immediately after getting a new account.
Yeah, if it's eligible to be waived, so I'll take care of that for you, no worries. Right. Remember, you could do email and text message alerts. That definitely will help you remember.
Yeah.
And you will receive a one-time credit of $25 towards your past due fee. This credit will be applied in 3 to 5 business days. And in the meantime, you still need to make your minimum payment outline of your statement. So I know you've already processed the payment, which is good.
Yeah. And
we took care of this fee as a courtesy for you, okay?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So just to confirm, I since I have made my payment, my first month is okay, and now my auto pay is set up for next month to get pay on time, right? So
That's right.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help and willingness to waive that. And like I said, auto pay is set up now, so it will never happen again.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks again for calling Capital One.
Bye.
Bye. Oh
my God, that was faster even than I thought. That's fucking awesome. So basically, okay, so let's see. How long was that call? 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I got $25 back. Totally worth it. So the very first time you're late on something, make sure you've corrected it so it'll never happen again. Set up auto pay. There's really no excuse ever to be late on stuff, unless for some reason you're overextending yourself and you just don't have the money in your account to pay for something. Like, just make sure you don't get into that situation, number one. But number two, if you just, yeah, you effed up like I did and you didn't set up your auto pay right away, um, I got a late fee, but they waived it because it was the very first time. So just, yeah, always try. If you've gotten a fee and it's the first time, just go ahead and call, see if they'll waive it for you. A lot of times they will. And so, yeah, I got 25 bucks back, 5 minutes invested. Pretty great. Definitely well worth my time. So I have noticed there's a lot of folks who feel like they'll say things, for example, well, I just never get to that thing. Or I want to make big changes in my life and I can't imagine any other way of kind of making change. I my hands are tied. I can't do anything from where I'm at. I have very limited time to work on anything. And so what could I even get done in a couple of hours? I get overwhelmed. Uh, there's a whole bunch of them. Basically, oh, another one that's really been on my mind lately is what you're telling me I have to budget my time or my money. That sounds fucking horrible. I don't want to have anything to do with that. That's far too detail oriented. So that one in particular, I feel curious. Is it possible that the reason why you might feel extremely resistant to budgeting is A, because you've never really seen it done, or B, no one's ever showed you how? And so, therefore, when you try to consider doing it yourself, you have no idea how to do it. You don't even know where to start. You can't, you know, like I said, no one showed you how. So, of course, it's going to be frustrating because you'd have to go like look it up and ask for help and check in. Like it's going to be time consuming that way. So, what I invite you to consider is that rather than, oh, budgeting seems fucking horrible and I won't schedule myself because I need flow and everything with my time, I need to have flexibility. And I don't want to give my money jobs. So it's, you know, time and money is kind of the two things that I'm talking about budgeting. Um, where's that resistance coming from? Is it coming from, I don't know, maybe your teenager self or your young adult self who just didn't know how to do it. And so just like, fuck it, I'll never do it. It sucks. I hate it. Can't make me do it. And maybe, you know, yeah, consider, is it possible that now as a grown ass adult that you can do something different than you did as a younger person? You can learn how to do something that you never learned how. And things like planning out and scheduling your time, planning out and scheduling your money, make both of those essentially feel as though they're expanding because through intention, you are now spending time in much more thoughtful, intentional, effective ways by setting aside time specifically to do those things and then holding yourself accountable. So there comes, yeah, so that's scheduling time. And then there's planning out your money. If it's just all in this big lump, how can you possibly keep track of all of the things that, you know, cost money? Okay. Delete everything that was about the budget before, at least I think so. I'm gonna restart. All right, so if you're resistant creating a budget for your finances, so hopefully you're on board with understanding that when you make choices, thoughtful and intentional choices about how you spend your time, you start to have so much more, basically feel like you have control over it instead of it just being loosey goosey. Start to corral it, at least loosely. So you're going to make much better use of your time if you've kind of decided, God damn it, delete all that too. All right. So if you're resistant to kind of planning out your time and being intentional and thoughtful to it about it, you're resistant to planning out your finances and giving it some attention and love. Why? I need to ask you why. And if it's any variation of, well, it's never worked for me in the past, or it's just really annoying and hard, or that's too much control, and I'm a free spirit and I need to be able to flow, and I'm fine without writing it all down. I keep it all in my head. It makes perfect sense to me. If you said any variation of that, then you're really carrying around and repeating a lot of thoughts that if you put those down, there'd be room in your head for other stuff, and you'd be much more likely to basically, if you feel out of control about your, if you feel out of control of your time and your finances, then you are. What if you started to put a little bit, you have to be control, just put a little bit of boundaries around those things, and you'll see that they start to grow. You start to feel more confident. You start to realize you're forgetting less things because you've been a little more thoughtful about your schedule. You realize that you're paying less in like late fees or finding yourself strapped for cash on a regular basis. That'll start happening less often if you put some thought and intention and a little bit of planning into your finances. Without doing those things, chances are very good you'll keep continuing and have a similar experience that you're having. So, yeah, where is your resistance coming from? Is it coming from a very young place? You know, that place where you needed to do these things, but you didn't know how. And so you just kind of, nobody showed you and you didn't ask. So, like, fuck it, I just won't do it. Is that where that resistance is coming from? Or it was just simple, I don't know how, so I'll just keep putting it off. Well, it's okay. You don't need to keep putting it off. Yeah. Put some boundaries around your time and your money, and I promise things will be easier. All right. So I have done that. Okay. Another big deal, celebrate. Celebrate things you've accomplished, even if it's not like a big thing. You know what? 1% progress on anything is 1% progress. And if you have 1% progress again and again and again, those add up. You know what I mean? They compound. 1% today plus 1% tomorrow becomes 2%, plus 1% the next day, 3%. So keep doing it. All right, so today, celebration. I'm gonna put some multiple stars and I'm gonna say, got refund on late fee. So $25. And I actually consider getting late fees reversed or getting reimbursements, you know, like say I bought groceries for my partner and and he's going to reimburse me for that. Until I get that late fee waived or get reimbursed for the groceries that I bought, that's money I've put out. And if I don't try to get that back, I will never get it back. And so I just, in essence, spent the money. But when I do turn around and I ask for the reimbursement on the groceries and I call and make that 5-minute call to get a late fee waived, I'm getting that money back. So it's really as if I'm paying myself for the time it took to ask for the reimbursement, to ask for the late fee to be waived. And so therefore, I also call that divine compensation, because for a minimum amount of effort, I'm having a really big return. 5 minutes getting the late fee waived, hundreds of dollars getting the groceries reimbursed. So the 3 minutes, less than 5 minutes that it takes me to look at my receipts, send a Venmo request to my partner, I'm getting paid hundreds of dollars for that couple of minutes. I didn't, it'd be out. I'd never see it again. I ask for it, I get it back. I'm making a lot of money in those couple of minutes. So that's why you need to prioritize those sort of things. If someone owes you money and you haven't asked for it, that's important to do. People aren't going to think, oh yeah, I owe them money. They might think of it, oh, I need to pay them back, and then they forget. So yeah, pay yourself essentially by asking for the reimbursements that you're owed. Okay, so that is a celebration. I already got 25 bucks back. And that reminds me that today is an Earth Energy Day, and that means I need to do some kind of foundational stuff. I like to do my budgeting and yeah, my financial things on Earth days. And so already gotten that money back from my late fee, I'm going to, and so I can check that off my to-do list also. And then now I'm going to go find the receipts of things that I haven't asked for reimbursements from on my partner yet. So I just spent 15 minutes doing something that if I had just done it at the moment, it would have taken me less than a minute, basically to ask for reimbursements as I spent the money. If I just immediately sent the Venmo, at least that day while it was still fresh in my mind, then I wouldn't have had to go back and go through these receipts and go through my credit card, figure out, okay, what have I already asked for? What have I not? So that's a waste of time that next time I'm going to remember, all right, it's way more complicated if I don't just take a minute now and just go ahead and send the Venmo request based on this expense. Another way that you can shave off time spent on kind of dumb things by just don't procrastinate in the first place. If it's going to take 1 minute, 2 minutes, just do it. Anyway, okay, I don't know how I keep doing this. I keep hurting myself in ways like this is like several layers of skin that I've just scratched off. This is like a really weird cut that's been hurting and it kept getting caught on things. These kind of band-aids are the coolest. I know you can barely see it, but it's called hydrocolloidal patch. And they're amazing. I'll talk about them more at some point. All right, so now, okay, so I have multiple other financial things that I can choose from to do. So, so I could do my budgeting, which is important. It's not quite as urgent as some other things. It's important, and it becomes urgent if it goes more than a week or so since I've paid attention to it. But and it has done that. But there are other things that are higher priority, and those are what I call closest to the dollar activities. Basically, with very little time and energy. If I direct my attention on this thing, there's very few steps between me and some cash. So for example, I have a pet sit client that owes me a deposit in order to hold his dates. I haven't sent him a request for that yet. And so that is one of the closest to the dollar activities. I know that as soon as I spend those few minutes sending the request, within a day or two, I'll have that cash in my account. So that's a very close to the dollar activity. It's also essentially a very close to the dollar activity to reach out to my client that I'm going to go to her place in a couple of days. And so I just need to confirm, have your departure and arrival times changed and, that sort of thing. So while that's not going to immediately result in cash, it will at the end of that job, as well as, just builds confidence from clients. So that's a very important activity. And both of these are really short. Like I'm going to be able to finish them in 15 minutes or so each. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna now go get on my other computer and I'm gonna send the request for the pet sit deposit. So here's another example of prioritization and how it can get difficult to decide which. So I am owed a refund from Fred Meyer because they made a mistake on something that I'd ordered. That's worth $8. I need to send a deposit request to a client. That's worth more than $100. So I almost got distracted by the Fred Meyer thing, but no, I'm not. I'm going straight to send that deposit because that's far more valuable. Okay, so in the past little while, I have sent a deposit request and already got paid that $100. Yay! I've sent an email to a client about this coming week. I saw in my email that another client had asked me about a sit that she appears to think she booked me for, but she didn't. So I'm going to give her a call right now. I am available the day it starts, but I don't know what date it is. So I'm going to call her right now. And yeah, have a chat because that's definitely not a response for email. So, I'll let you listen in. Okay.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. We hadn't talked about a sit starting on the 26th, though. I am.
I didn't book you for the end of May.
No, but don't stress. Depending on the length of your trip, I am available starting the evening of the 26th.
What did I talk to you about?
June 15th. Let's see, what are my dates? June, let's see. June the 15th through the 23rd of June is what we've.
Gosh, I thought I forgot. Let me see what I've done to myself.
Because and then you asked me for some other June dates.
Yes, I did. That's right.
Yeah, and those I wasn't available for.
Okay, let me see what I've
I
done.
don't have any record of May.
That would be bad because I need somebody. And
What are your dates though? Because like I said, I am. Go ahead.
we are leaving Sunday the 26th, and we come home on the 30th.
Oh, okay. May 30th, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I got you. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Woo. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you were like, hey, what's up?
Let me make sure. Let me just see if I've done something else.
Yeah, maybe scheduled with somebody else. Yeah.
Nah, I think I did.
Okay.
That would be great if you could tell
Yeah.
me. I don't know why in my mind I thought that I was all confused.
Well, it's okay. It looks like we'll be able to get you set. So the 26th through the 30th of May. And so that means, yes, we do need to set a time for me to come out.
Okay.
And let's look at that. So you're gone. Okay, now I don't have your email in front of me, but
yeah, I'm just gone. I'm leaving tomorrow on Tuesday, but I've got an event on Tuesday, so Tuesday.
Yeah, no, let's find something that works for you. Okay, so next week. So so then that means like maybe say Wednesday or Thursday or Friday would work for you?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. What's gonna be this? How about could I do like say, I don't know, about 10 a.m. On Thursday?
Yeah, that works great. Thursday the 23rd?
Yes, Thursday, May 23rd, 10 a.m. And yes, I will come out and meet you at Buzz and get the whole lowdown. And
we have had so many weird trips this year, and this is one we take every year, and I just
oh my gosh, I think it's totally normal. There are definitely times where I'm like, wait a minute, I thought about that thing so hard that I thought I did it. What do you mean I owe you some money? I swear I paid you. Oh shoot, no I didn't. Yeah, but we got you. So yeah, so I will see you on May 23rd. And just because since I have you, why don't you just go ahead and give me your address again? I know I can look it up, but don't mind.
306 North Point Road. And that's in Lake Oswego.
Did you say 316 North Point Road?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I really look forward to meeting you, Casey. This next Thursday, the 23rd at 10 a.m.
Heather, thanks for saving my skin.
You're so welcome. Thanks for reaching out now. Okay, bye. All right. So I've also sent responded to another client email, which I just wish I would have checked my email first because she'd emailed me yesterday and I could have responded to that. But one more thing that is complete. I have sent that invoice out. I have not yet gotten to my own personal budget. I think I keep kind of pushing that a little bit down the list because the other thing that I really, really want to do, okay, wait, I accomplished that, is I want to make sure that I am doing tasks that are best done on an Earth Day. I believe I am on track, but I just want to double check. Where do I put those notes? I need to find those notes. Oh, there it is. Okay, so on Earth Day, numbers. Great, I've been doing it. Deep thinking, systems, strategy, setting up structures, organization, or media info. Fuck yes, it is perfect for what I'm doing then. Okay, so, oh good, I still have a couple days of Earth energy. So what I want to use my Earth energy for is, I found out yesterday about a Amazon small business loan, or no, grant. And I also noticed one for Venmo, which kind of asking the exact same questions. So I can apply for both of them. Anyhow, the Amazon business grant, I'm pretty sure it'll be fairly easy because I've already written a ton of stuff that kind of outlines what my idea is, what the benefits are, like who my audience is, you know, what is my, you know, like more, what is my unique kind of proposition for what are the issues that I'm solving, that kind of thing. Like I do have the specific notes. I'm just trying to do off the top of my head. Anyhow, I know that the simplest, easiest way is to use AI to help me finish writing it. So I have recently heard about an app or a program called Notion. I heard about it from a YouTuber that I had just discovered, but she specializes in neurodivergent folks trying to get projects done, most of them creative or content creating or whatever. So I should actually keep track of her because she's essentially doing very similar to what I want to do, but less, I'm more messy. I'm still in the process. But she uses Notion to, the thing that excited me the most that she was showing is like, okay, so you transcript your video and then you take that transcript and you drop it into AI and you have them clean it up to make it a blog post. And then you post it as a blog post. And, you know, so it's like boom, 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 really pretty quick. So yeah, that's what I'm going to play with. I just saw that Notion was giving me a template for like step-by-step how to do things. So rather than just kind of fart around and see what I can figure out on my own, I'm going to go ahead and follow that and learn what I can. And yeah, today is a perfect day for doing those sort of things because it is deep thinking. It is, again, what is it? What are Earth days? I really need to put a tag on it so that I find it easier. Okay, it's that one. Earth, numbers, deep thinking, systems, strategy, setting up structures, organization, or media info. Okay, yes, that's everything that I'm doing today. So that means essentially that I'm very likely to not get as exhausted by what I'm doing today as I would if I was trying to do stuff that is, say, water. Water things are working with emotions and intuition and pain or traumas, struggles, counterintuitive, those sort of things. This isn't a water day. I'm not doing water stuff. Okay. I'm actually also looking back at my week to see I put things on my to-do lists that I haven't gotten to. And so okay. Oh, see, I need to send my family and close friends like a notice like, hey, you guys, I'm an Amazon affiliate. And if you click on one of my links before you go to Amazon, basically you've just turned Amazon into my little store, my own personal store. So will you please come to my store instead of just the big box store? It's real easy. Just click the link. So that would also be close to the dollar. That would be setting up structures and systems, but it is not more important than the Amazon business application because that is a bigger project. It's going to take me more time. The sending an email to friends and family about Amazon, being an Amazon affiliate, it probably won't take me very long, but it's not top priority. It is close to the dollar activity, but basically as soon as any of those people start using my link, I will start making money off of their extremely big volume of sales and orders. I bet all of my friends and family have spent literally thousands of dollars in the past month alone on Amazon, and I didn't get a cut of any of that. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little break, go outside in the sun. I'm gonna see if the conditions are conducive to move my work out there. I think chances are pretty low, actually. I need to not get distracted. I need to take breaks, and that means go outside anyhow. I want to sit comfortably. My back hurts a little bit, so I'm going to sit in a chair up here. And I want to congratulate myself because I have more times than not in the past 2 weeks prioritized myself early in the day, exercised, eaten something, drank some water, took my pills, all of those things before, say, 10 a.m. or so. And I feel fucking great right now. And I know that that plays a really big role, all of those things. So I also feel great because I've gotten things done. Check, 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 a bunch of stuff off my list. And I've already made money today. I've already had an extra $100, not extra. I've had $100 put in my account for spending a couple of minutes to send my request for the deposit. And I already got $25 for asking for a refund on that fee. What else? Ooh, I already made another couple $100 asking for reimbursements for things I already bought. So, damn, it has been a very lucrative day already. Let's just write that down. Okay, plus 25 for that. Plus 100 for deposit. Plus, how much did I get reimbursed? Okay, 20. Oh, that was actually only $20, but yesterday he reimbursed me $377. So I'm going to count that. Okay, plus 397. And I think it's it for money for today. So that means $525 have come in today. And it's only 1 o'clock. $525 today. It's only 1 o'clock. And yesterday was fucking amazing in Lyft. Okay, so let's look at it. So yesterday, I was online for 3.5 hours, but I probably only had people in my car for 3 hours, and I made $182. Now, to be fair, 30 of that was what's called a ride challenge, where once I did 15 trips, then I got, I don't know, $30, I guess. I think it was, yeah, no, the first ride challenge was $20. And then when I did another 10 trips, I got another $10. Those are pretty low ride challenges, but there are much more generous ones if I was willing to commit to at least 30 trips between Monday and Thursday, then I would have made a much higher amount. But I've done 23 trips, and I might not work today, today being Thursday, because I might not lift work. Probably because I am going out later. I am going to be with a friend who I'm teaching how to do delivery. And yeah, so yeah. What was also kind of cool about that yesterday is my last writer was a musician, and we ended up talking for quite a while. We got caught by a bridge going up, so we had far more time than we otherwise would have. Would have been a really quick ride, but we ended up talking about, I don't know, all kinds of things. It started with her liking the song I was listening to, which was a Tony, shoot, I can't remember her name, but it was like an affirmation song from one of my affirmation playlists. And we talked about that. And then we just kind of kept surfing. And then, I'm telling her about the Patreon starter guy, Jack Conte, and the videos of his that I've been watching lately and how inspiring and exciting they are. And I was telling her about divine compensation and stuff, and how I know I'm being taken care of and I'm supported in all these different ways, and I am being of service. But the ways I'm being of service I am not asking for money back from the people I am being of service to. I am asking for support in a wider support. Basically, yeah, the words aren't coming to me. But anyway, she asked me, how do I know it's working? How do I know that I am being, that, how do I know that basically my divine compensation plan is working? And I said, well, one very simple way is I make a ridiculous amount of money with Lyft compared to average drivers. I haven't checked recently, but last time I looked, the average Lyft driver was making $17 an hour. My guess is that's gone up because it's summertime. I also bet it's gone up because they've started being fishy about the way that they calculate that. But that's beside the point. Yes, I know that I make far more than the average driver. Just my regular, I make at least 35 an hour when I'm driving. Even just that is double of what the average driver is making. But then you look at weeks like this week, granted yesterday was better than was the best day, but I was online. Let's see. See, they only tell you how much time you had with a writer, and I think that that's annoying actually, because it should be how long I was online. So anyway, I know I was online. It says 3 hours and 45 minutes. So let's say I was online. I don't know. Let's say I was online an extra hour, an hour and a half more. So 3.75 plus 1.5. Okay, so 5.25 hours. Let's say I was actively doing Lyft work for 5.5 hours. 291 by 5.5. It's $52.90. $52.90 an hour average. And per trip, so 23, 21. My average was $12.65. And I used to be pretty pleased with a $10 average. So $12.65 per trip average is pretty fucking good. So what I am pretty pleased that they have started doing is also they're showing specifically what the fees are that I'm paying for the week. And check your earnings. So they've committed to pay drivers a minimum of 70% of what riders are paying. And if you don't make that on your own, they will pay you the difference. And that's pretty fucking amazing, actually. Number one, that they're being transparent about pay structure and how much riders are paying versus what you're getting paid. And they're making up the difference if you don't make that, threshold. And they're showing me what mine is. So what I just said is they guarantee at least 70% of the riders' fares go to the driver. I am making 118%. I am officially making more money than Lyft is on my driving. I love that. That's amazing. I love that. Oh my God, that's so awesome. I love that. I wonder if it goes back. Does it go back future past weeks? That would be cool if they retroactively show that information. Maybe I'm not supposed to be on here right now because it's spinning. Thank you, Lyft. Thank you, Lyft. Thank you for proving my point. Thank you for being a friend. All right, so it did go retroactive. Okay, so let's see last week. Last week I made 90% of yeah, I made 90% of the amount earned from riders. So granted, there's a little bit of a differential in that it's after fees, but yeah, 90%. Let's see. Can I go back at weeks? Okay, one more week back. Oh, it doesn't go back further. It's okay. Pumped. I suppose I could also kind of figure it out if I wanted to, but I don't. All right, it is time for me to move on. So yeah, to kind of wrap that idea up, what I was telling her is I I receive cash in much higher amounts than I otherwise would from sources that I'm already receiving cash from. So if, you know, when I find that I am making far and away more money than an average driver at Lyft, I consider that to be that difference to be not only my smarts and my wise use of time and deciding what rides to take and what not, and when to drive and when not. Like all of that is skill and you know, built on data. But also, even with all of that data-driven choices that I make, I am still my income continues to increase and increase and increase and increase. And I believe it is in direct relationship to the quality of my acts of the quality and quantity of my acts of service, while also staying within the within my own river of tolerance, of my own resource. So I'm not overgiving. If I were overgiving, then I would, I definitely wouldn't be getting rewarded for that from the universe. In fact, when I've overgiven in the past, I have actually kind of gotten a kick in the butt from the universe with things like, you know how you think Lyft is supposed to work really great right now? You're supposed to make a bunch of money. Well, you know what? You're going to have a bunch of annoyances and riders being, you know, buttheads and not showing up, and then you're not getting cancellation fees. Like there's going to be all these like annoyances. That's when I'm overgiving. That's when I'm overextending. That's when I'm driving. And I probably shouldn't have. When I'm doing everything absolutely in alignment, that's when I start making 50 plus bucks an hour. So, all right, time for my break. Time is it? It is, I don't know. All right, so I think I'm also going to do is I think I'm going to stop this and start a new one. Yeah. And I know I always have a bunch of stories that I want to tell, but they all go away before I get around to logging this on. So what I also plan to do is I have a week-long pet sit coming up that starts this weekend. And I think I'll just keep setting up my second computer, just record. I need to set it up earlier in the day though, so because that's when most of my stories usually come up, and I want to be able to tell the stories. So that is the change I will make, is I will set up the computer like while I'm doing my morning routine and stuff, because it's often when I also am thinking about things that I want to say. But yeah, all right, when I come back, I'm gonna look at Notion and I'll start another recording for co-working, and yeah, we'll see what else I get to today. I have to keep prioritizing because there are so many things that I'm excited to do that even though they feel urgent, when I really think about them, they're not. There's other things that are more urgent, and I need to stay focused on what is most essential. Another thing I need to get done today or tomorrow is pack for my pet sit. So I need to set aside some time for that. Okay, time to end this. Bye. Thanks for being on the receiving end if anyone happened to see it, but even if they don't, I don't really care because it really helped me to get it out. Get it out.